Well, jeepers! You're listening to Smash or Pass.
Hi everyone, welcome to another video on the JayBee
Hello.
and Milly channel, where it's always joined by Rhianna.
Hello.
And Smash.
Hello.
So in celebration of completing the reviews for Series 2 of Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, we're doing another Q&A. So thank you to everyone who's been submitting the questions. I've got them all in front of me here. So is everyone ready for the first question?
Oh, I'm as ready as I'll ever be. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Like this is good stuff.
Okay, so the first one's going to take some conversion because it's different in the UK and US, and that is, what's your shoe size? So it's I've just googled it. For females, they tend to buy shoes that are 2 sizes more in the US, and
that doesn't make sense.
half a shoe size more for men. So your size
we'll give our numbers and convert it to the Americas because that's what is common.
Why do people want to know about our feet though?
Maybe someone's got a kink.
Okay, JayBee, you're a 9 in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Which converts to 9.5 in US.
Wait, so I've got a bigger dingaling in the US.
I'm a 9 UK, and for me that'd convert to an 11 US.
Okay.
Rhianna?
I got tiny feet. I'm a 4.5 in the UK.
This is 6.5 US and Smash.
I'm an 11.
Hey.
We can share shoes.
Yeah, we've got the same size. Yay.
Wait, who? Me as well?
No, me and Smash.
Wait, don't we have the same size feet?
No. Women add 2 onto their shoe size for US, which puts me at an 11 and Smash at an 11. You only had half on for you, so you're a 9.5.
Oh crap.
Oh.
Okay, so next question. What's your favorite Scooby villain and why? So I'm gonna start with JayBee.
No, I knew you were gonna do that. You keep doing that. Why? I don't like it. Okay, probably the dominatrix from Mystery Incorporated because she's paying.
Okay, you're a creep. Rhianna?
Sorry, what? I don't know. I have a lot of favorite villains. I can't choose from like the whole franchise. It's impossible. There's too many.
Just say one.
I'm looking to the side of me, like working out from the figures that we have there, that's like all the villains and stuff, which one's my favorite. So I was trying to buy myself more time.
I guess.
Am I the only one that knows?
Quite possibly.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, JayBee, you knew too.
I think it's because well, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you know what is a good one? The pirate from Pirates Ahoy. It's a good one. Scary.
Pinkbeard.
Controversially, mine's the witch from Witch's Ghost.
Yes, Ravencroft. Yes, that was my character in my short film, and no one got the reference.
Sad.
It's like, oh, even someone who was in Scooby didn't get the reference.
Smash, here's yours. Like, I feel like you're going to be able to say this with certainty. The rest of us have been a bit like,
The Yowie Yahoo.
Nice.
Ooh.
Okay, so this question, Smash might be able to add some more context to for all of us, hopefully.
Oh.
Do you think there's a new Scooby-Doo movie coming?
Okay, I just really hope I don't get in trouble, is all. There was supposed to be a crypto movie. That one, as far as I have heard in the tunnels, because of what's happening over at Warner Brothers, has been shelved right now. Because that movie was supposed to come out and help promote the Super Pets movie, but that movie's out. So clearly it's not gonna do its job anymore. So as far as I'm hearing with that one's shelved until they decide, is it even worth putting out at this point? The other thing I have heard is that Trick or Treat possible movie. That so far should still be coming, but there was again, this is all rumors, so do like grain of salt. This could all be wrong. They had a scheduling conflict with some like Mortal Kombat animated movie or something, and that threw Trick or Treat's release off. And so they're like, because technically speaking, the trailer for that should have come out like a week or two ago to get it out in time for Halloween. So as far as I'm hearing, they're still set with their release date of like the week of Halloween, basically. But it's just going to be like a very, very fast marketing time for that movie. So as long as they stay with that, you know, and don't say, we don't need to do it, we might have one at the end of October.
Okay.
But if not, then who knows? That's all I know at this moment.
See, I guess I'm kind of hopping on to the back of that question. Do we think that we're gonna ever return to the 2 Scooby movies a year?
Okay, I have a comment to go off of that, because since everything that started over at Warner Brothers and Scoob Holiday Haunt, #SaveScoobHolidayHaunt, I think, okay, I kind of had this thought the other day, because a few years ago we had Scooby's 50th anniversary, and I feel like we were spoiled with releases, with product, with sequels, with continuities. And I feel like now we are in, say, our generation's pre-Zombie Island era with Scooby now. So I almost wonder if now we're going to enter a drought of Scooby content, and then suddenly something's going to come out that, I mean, personally for us, it might not be Zombie Island level, but it might be this generation's Zombie Island, where it revitalizes Scooby to bring it back into the world. That's what I'm personally believing, is we're entering our next generation's pre-Zombie Island era.
Okay.
That would be very interesting, you know, and I think sometimes a break or a hiatus, for all it's not great, it's necessary, right? I mean, you had something, and even something that I'm completely purist about, like Doctor Who, right? That went on like a 30-year break, and then it came back with flames, just like Zombie Island came back with flames. So
I think, like you say, sometimes a break can be refreshing, because what I'm thinking is sometimes, like, say for example, for someone that's going to have children in like 2-3 years, quite often people will be like, oh, I don't want to watch, like, you know, if your parents suggest something, they're like, oh no, that's like what you grew up with, kind of thing. Whereas for something to almost do a relaunch, it kind of makes it more relevant again. So it could be something that could work, but at the same time, I don't want to have to go years without a movie.
I think we're, again, from like what we know, what we've heard over at Warner Brothers, there started to be too much headbutting of no supernatural, but then this doesn't make sense, no supernatural. And so I personally think we need a break while Warner Brothers kind of sweeps out the Scooby department and says, what are you doing? You know, can we have supernatural in it again or not? Because if not, stop making sequels to stuff, stop referencing old stuff and whatever, and just make original Scooby content. Because I think that was the problem, is they were getting excited of like, we're gonna do this sequel, we're gonna continue off of this, but then you have, say, the head of the Scooby department that's going, okay, well, no supernatural, so you gotta rework that somehow. And so I think I really personally want a break in Scooby. And personally, like, for us as consumers, like right now, I'm, you know, like diving into my Jurassic franchise and stuff. It's like giving me a chance, because over these last few years as a content creator, unfortunately, my face is very attached to Scooby-Doo. That's fine. That's fine. But since a year ago when I decided to come out and everything, I've really wanted to be like, listen, I'm not the Scooby guy. I am Ashton, who happens to love Scooby. A lot of people know me as Ashton, the Scooby guy. And so I'm like, I personally really want a break in Scooby content so that it also gives me a chance to indulge in other franchises and properties, and to also, as a content creator, be like, I can do other stuff besides Scooby. I can go into more adult content and franchises. I can enjoy other things like my High School Musical series. I'm so into that right now. And it's hard because I'm posting stuff of this and sharing my love of it. And so many of my followers right now are like, it's not Scooby, so I don't care. Which it's fine. It's fine if they don't care. But for me, that hinders me a lot because then I'm not getting the viewers, the eyes to come to my content. Like my Jurassic stuff right now tanks every time. It's like, it's not even worth it for me to make stuff around Jurassic because none of my viewers care. And part of that is YouTube's algorithm. So I personally would like a break in Scooby content to, for me personally, to enjoy other stuff right now, to indulge in other properties and find other fandoms and find other people that enjoy these other properties. But also for me as a content creator to be like, hey, I can like more than one thing. And that's, I mean, as of recording this, I just announced I'm starting a new podcast that's jumping off of my Scooby-Doo one. Because I had a Scooby podcast, but because of how stuff went down in my life, I've had to kind of move on from that. But I've still wanted to do a podcast. And so, but again, I didn't want to limit myself to one topic, whether it be Scooby or Jurassic or High School Musical or my heart condition even. And so my podcast, not to make this all about me, but I have a podcast coming out called Working Title Podcast Show. And it's to talk to you guys at some point, but people around the world who want to share their life, because as I see it, everyone has a life story and it's a work in progress until you die. And no one's life's title is ever set until it's their legacy. And so that's kind of like its working title. And so, you know, I'm having this podcast to exemplify there's so many other interests, there's so many other ideas out in the world and stuff. And so again, I need to shut up, but I think we need a break in Scooby. I personally do. I think we were too, we got too much these last few years, and we've gotten way too used to the movies every year that when we don't have a movie, everyone freaks out. Like I work at Michael's, it's an arts and craft store. And like anytime we have something on clearance or something, we have customers come and be like, is your store shutting down? And I feel like that's how we've gotten with Scooby is suddenly we don't get a movie announcement. Is Scooby-Doo done forever? And it's like, let people have a break, enjoy other stuff, you know? So I'll shut up. There's my 2 cents.
No, that actually does make a lot of sense. And I guess I don't suppose it's any justification for the cancellation of Holiday Haunt, which was like
not at
2
all.
weeks, like 10 weeks off. But in terms of a break, you can see it to be necessary, and maybe even they need to just like, oh gosh, not to quote, I think was this Donald Trump that said almost drain the swamp, because I'm always like after and like getting annoyed at like the Scooby purists, and I think the person in charge of Scooby is like the purist, right? And so maybe just a switch around of like creativity would do them a bit of good as well. They should like put us in charge.
I'm not too sure that I would trust you with any concepts that involve Daphne, quite
No,
frankly.
it would be good. It would be good.
But speaking of that, the next question is, should there be more moments that are about Scooby and Daphne's relationship? Which I'd say yes. It's not something we see much of, but to kind of hop on the back of that, something that's really exciting me about Scooby at the minute is the announcement of the new Daphne and Velma book, because Daphne and Shaggy's relationship is something that I think is really understated as well. And it's something that they were really building on there. And I know kind of we've spoke to Morgan Baden in an interview where she said it was something that would certainly be picked up on a bit further. So hopefully maybe you get more kind of Scooby Daphne moments there as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of whatever, really. Like, it's an odd pairing. I don't think it's necessarily something that I'd be, screaming and shouting if it was like developed in any way. But at the same time, any way that they can switch things up a bit, I think will be interesting. So I'm all for it.
Okay, so next question. Who would people say is more popular, the spooky space kook or the zombie?
Kook, isn't it?
Did I say something different?
Yeah, no.
Oh, I
asked
thought
me-
you said it's the kook, like I'd said it wrong.
No. It's like the kook or that is the kook.
I'd say the kook, yeah.
Yeah. Kook.
I think it's the kook in itself and its design, but the zombies episode I think is a bit more popular.
This is where I may come across terribly. When you said the spooky space kook, I was like, I know who that is. When you said the zombie, I was like, which is the zombie?
The
I was
zombie
thinking
with
like
the
which
witch.
episode, which
Yeah,
movie,
which
'cause you've had a lot of
zombie?
zombie. Like the spooky space cookers. You
Or the
mentioned
one
you know
that
exactly
threw
the
up on that
episode.
reporter.
Mhm.
Okay, next question. Which episode from season 1 and 2 of Scooby-Doo and Guess Who is your favourite and why?
See, to me, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who's a bit like white bread. It's fine. It's
You
nice.
only eat white bread.
No, but just on its own. It doesn't have butter on it or anything. It's just kind of bland. But a favorite of season 1, I can't do this because I can't watch.
I'm gonna
the
be
ones-
100%
oh my
honest. I've
God.
never seen a single episode of it, and
You-
so I don't have a
it's literally
favourite
said
one.
it. Why would you interrupt?
Because you sounded like you were.
I'm gonna have to say the Ricky Gervais one of season 1, right? Because that's the only guy I know. And season 2, probably I haven't seen that Night of 1,000 Voices. I don't know what it's called. The Matthew Lillard, Grey DeLisle one. So maybe Blue Falcon, because I had to naughtily watch that one to get ready for the David Kay interview. So
Hey, Rhianna?
For me, oh gosh, I've seen handfuls and I've been binge watching Scooby a lot lately. So I recently watched the Batman one, and I really liked how they executed it because it wasn't just, oh my gosh, it's Batman, it's Bruce Wayne, it's thing. Instead, it's Daphne actually has a connection with Alfred. So it's Alfred, right? I kept messing up the name before, and my brother got so mad at me. And it was really interesting to play around with that. So I really enjoyed that episode. The Flash episode I found was funny. One that I didn't really like is the Maddie Ziegler episode. 'Cause I'm like, too many relations to evil dance teacher, dance mums. But there's a lot of good episodes in Guess Who. It's interspersed with some lackluster, but I don't think I can choose like my favorite from season 1 and 2 because I'm just watching them as they show on Boomerang.
Smash, what about you? I think you've been most likely to have seen them all out of all of us. I think
So
they're kind of more
there's-
hard to access in the UK.
There's a few episodes I still need to watch of season 2, even though I have the DVD. It's just Guess Who is just a series where I'm really struggling with it. It's as JayBee said, it's so plain. Like there's nothing unique about it, I feel like. But there are hidden gem episodes for sure throughout it. So for season 1, I definitely have to say the 1 Minute Mysteries with the Flash. I thought was a lot of fun. A runner-up is Too Many Dummies for me in that season 2, because dummies I'm terrified of them, and I love that they finally did like a dummy as the main villain. So that was a lot of fun. I also like the musical episode, but I just like musicals, so anything that's a musical, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for. Season 2 is, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh, definitely the Haunt of 1,000 Voices, which that episode's story is very meh, but it's a fun episode. It is so good, so fun. So I think that one's just a given, but aside from that one, I think I have to say The Last Inmate with Morgan Freeman, just because of how different that episode portrayed itself, where they were like filming a documentary, so you had them like sitting in front of the camera and talking directly to the camera and stuff. I thought was really unique for Scooby-Doo and just to do something different. So
Perfect. So moving on to the next question, which of these Hanna-Barbera superhero shows do you prefer watching the most? Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles, Dynamite Dog Wonder and Blue Falcon, Moby Dick and Mighty Mightor, Atom Ant, The Herculoids, or all of the above?
I think I've seen one of those.
I'd say I've seen maybe Dynamite Dog Wonder and Blue Falcon, possibly. And I'd say that's certainly my favorite, or at least the characters.
I mean,
as
out of
well,
all of
moving
them, that's the
forwards.
one that I would watch. Like if like all of the first seasons were on DVD in front of me, and I only had the money for one, that's the one that I'd get.
I think I've seen at least an episode from each of them, and I think all of the above, because all of them are so unique and have different storylines. So it's kind of refreshing because not all of them are revolving around mysteries. And as much as I love mysteries, it's like branching off into something new. So each of them have their own spark, and I think all of the above for me.
Smash.
I think the given is Dynamite, just because of how it connects to Scooby. But as soon as they listed Adamant, that one jumped out to me because I'm like, I mean, yeah, we have Ant-Man in Marvel, but I just feel like it was unique for Hanna-Barbera. I mean, all of them again are unique in their own way, but Adamant, I don't know, sticks out to me a lot.
We should try and find that.
We should. So this one, I don't know how kind of many people have been into reading Scooby out of all of us, but it says, what's your favorite Scooby-Doo book or book series to read? This can include the comic books, but I'd say for me, nothing compares to the Daphne and Velma ones. They're literally like one of my favorite things to read at the minute. I'm just rereading them now for book 3. So, Smash, what about Scooby books or comics for you?
I've never read, well, okay, that's kind of a lie. I've read like 1 or 2 issues of Scooby Apocalypse, but I've never really read Scooby comics. I can never get into comics. I keep trying and trying and can't. So, but book series, I mean, I think the Daphne and Velma novels are the best written Scooby books. But I have a handful. I don't have them all, but one of the ones from my childhood that I loved was, oh gosh, what were they called? Like Scooby-Doo Mystery. Let me Google.
We've been fortunate enough to find some books just out at like yard sales and stuff recently, and I didn't know there was as many as there is.
I wish that we were in America where all this stuff was like printed to hell, because I couldn't imagine just going to like a yard sale and just finding some schmuck selling like one of the Gold Key comics for like £1. I'd die.
So yeah, it was called Scooby-Doo Mysteries. That's what the series was, but they were like, they had some of the books had like some villains from episodes. Like there's one called the Carnival Creeper that has the creeper in it and stuff, but a lot of them were original monsters, and they drew like illustrations. Like they weren't picture books by any means. They had chapters. I have a few. I could have pulled them out, but the first book is The Haunted Castle. But that book series, like especially from my childhood, I think is one of my favorite Scooby book series. And I read one in a stream last year, actually. I believe it was the Cactus book. So
Rhianna, what about you? Have you ever read many of the Scooby books or comics?
Yeah, I kind of have a lot more than I thought I did. So I've got this like really small comic book of Scooby, which I really love. I can't remember what it's called, but since I was like really, really young, my mum has been getting me the Scooby-Doo annuals, and it's only in the last like 2 years that they've stopped, and I'm so mad because I'm like, I need my new Scooby-Doo annual, please. And it's like all updated facts and stuff about the gang, and it has like comic book style stories along with actual stories and fun little activities. So I think they're my favorite, mainly because I basically have a complete collection, except for one, which one of our dogs, I can't remember if it was Tatty or Tilda when they were puppies, chewed the spine, but
Oh
I've got a new one coming, so I need it. But I don't blame them, it's memories. But yeah, no, they're my favorite. But there's a lot out there. And I have one which I got for my graduation as such with junior school. I can't remember what it's called, but that one's a really good one as well. Yeah.
JayBee, what about you for Scooby comics, books?
So it'll have to be the Morgan Baden books, really, because they're like the only ones that go in detail and that I've read in depth. Like, I tried reading the Scooby-Doo Batman series. Like, I couldn't find a physical copy, but you can get them on like the iTunes bookstore. And I thought they were kind of crap. I think just because I don't like Batman, he's just I'm not really. It's just not my guy. So maybe that's why. But I'm really interested to read the Scooby Apocalypse comics. If I ever find them for a good price, I want to try and read all of them. So I've got interest in some, but for now, I think it's Baden.
So the next question is a question that I'm sure a lot of people are thinking.
Is it your favorite?
Do you think Scoob the Holiday Haunt will ever be saved, or do we think it's cancelled forever? JayBee, I feel like we had a conversation today that you can maybe elaborate on a bit.
I think it will be cancelled forever. Now, I did see that on Michael Krinsky and I think even Bill Holler's Facebook, they did like a screening just today of like the cast and crew. They saw it. And I thought it's kind of nice that at least they've got to see like the final product, really, like not fully completed, but I guess the closest that may be possible right now. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think
really
there's much chance unless something fundamental happens.
It's really frustrating to see that it's got to that stage, that it's there, that they can watch it, and it makes almost no sense for them not to release it.
I mean, we've done all we can do on our end, I feel, and now I think it's up to the people to continue that. Because if you think, we didn't know that it was going to be cancelled when we had Michael Krinsky on. It was actually the weirdest timing in the world that we posted that interview, and then like 3 days later, the news came in. And I feel like that was just an interesting time because obviously we had like Total Film and Comic Book getting in touch with us saying, look, can we use a clip of this for this? We're going to write a story about it. So mad stuff. And you think, obviously, because a lot of the Scooby shows, the other Scooby shows, kind of bent over backwards to not mention us. And so any chance that they got, like, they were like, oh, there's this. It was crazy, actually. It was like, there's some wild theory, some wild rumor from some mysterious place that apparently the filming had wrapped up 5 days ago. Who knows where this has come from? We're gonna say it in our video, but we're not gonna source it or anything. It's a wild, wacky rumor. So we had those shenanigans going on, and so of course we had a situation where we'd set up a petition, and then all the other Scooby shows found another petition, and then they were like, okay, this isn't the JayBee and Milly one. We're going to push for this. But it's interesting, if you notice that just us by ourselves, we're only like 200, 300 behind the one that every single other person was sharing. So it kind of makes you think that in another life, if everyone had banded together, instead of there being a 2,500 petition from us, and like a 3,000 petition from someone else, we'd be with like a 6,000 petition, and everyone would see the interview to kind of know the passion that did go on behind it. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Even if that did happen, it's likely that the movie still wouldn't come out, but maybe it would have been more likely. I hope we get to see it one day, though.
Anyone else, anything to add on Holiday Haunt?
I kind of feel like we will get it. It may not be this year, but I just feel like because they've had like a cast and crew screening, things like that, so they've seen. So it's obvious. I think they've finished it because I think they've gone and finished it without Warner Brothers using their own funding and whatever, because, why get the score recorded as well? I mean, I understand that he'd already paid for it and the stage and everything, but at the same time, like, we also... So we know that they can Warner Brothers can release it as long as it's not monetized. And that way they still get their 40 million that they spent on it back. But what I think will happen is they'll wait. They've seen that we've kicked up a storm, free publicity. So they'll wait, let the storm settle, boom. They'll release it because it's a case of oh wait, no, we've just cancelled the Flash movie because the guy's been arrested. We've gone and done like this, that, the other. We've cancelled like 15 billion CW shows. We have no content. It's going to take until late 2024 for the next new series or something. We need to tide them over. So I think they will release it, but there's also, you know, with the merger and everything, I think it's a debate on where they're going to release it. That's going to be the key thing, and if it's going to be open for international or just HBO Max. Well, I mean, they're kind of getting rid of that with the merger, but still, like, it's just a question on how. And also, they've got free publicity from us. They can just like pop it out, and someone be like, "Oh, hey, it's on streaming. It's up for pre-order. Let's get it." And then that itself will get it free publicity. So I think we will get it one day, even if it's just like, I mean, the Master of the Universe movie, which I just watched. They were cancelled 2 days before they'd finished all filming. So the director actually snuck on set before they destroyed it with the cast, finished filming it. What he then did, he kept all the footage, and they kind of went under for a while. And it was like, we can save you. The movie's already done. We've done it all. Just release it. And they did. And that way, you know, at that stage, it was also quite a big like company that went under. So I think it could happen just one way or another, and hopefully Warner Brothers doesn't delete anything, because they're known to do that as well.
Is the decision reversible? Like, I understand that there's this tax write-off situation, so they get, I guess, all the money that they spent back and they don't get taxed on it. So yeah, happy days, say that happens. If like next year down the line they want a Christmas movie, could they then finish it, release it, and just return the money? Like, I don't know, is that a thing?
I mean, by that stage, I believe it would be classed as a new movie. And they could then say that they pumped this money into it when they didn't. Like, they can just say, oh, we're going to put $1 million towards funding the promotion. And that's also basically they would get a higher profit.
See, that's a good point. And I'm thinking to myself, not What a Wonderful World. This David Zaslav, he went out and said that he wants to focus on more theatrical releases. And with Scoob being intended to originally be released theatrically if it wasn't for COVID, could it be that they've scrapped the Scoob Holiday Haunt that they were making, and now they're going to put money into a theatrical holiday movie for like this time next year, going out in like the theaters? That could be something.
They could release that in theaters. I'd be more than happy.
Yeah.
Smash, any thoughts?
I do think too it'll come out eventually. I think now I don't think this was a publicity stunt by any means, but I do think they can use it that way. And that's, I really do think they got free marketing, free publicity for it. And so it would be really easy for them to just kind of plop it somewhere, and then word of mouth. They know that the word of mouth will get around at this point. And so will it be this year? Probably not. Maybe next year around the holidays. But I think they have it in their hands to just kind of throw, and everything will take care of itself at this point with what they've done.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, like you say with the publicity, I think we're all in agreement that if it comes out next year, it will do better than it would have if it came out this year, because of everything that's happened. So, you know, it's kind of a bad way of going about things, but it's a win-win either way. We get to see it, and they get everyone freaking out like, oh, we did it, it's safe, let's run and go and see it. So, you know, win-win, just a bit of a delay, fingers crossed.
Okay, so next question is, if you could meet any of the voice cast, who would you want to meet, and would you interview any of them in the future?
Jesus. I guess you'd want to meet all of them and interview all of them. It's just a case of who. Like, we've met Matthew Lillard.
I mean, some of the suggestions they've made is Frank Welker, Kate McCucci, DeLisle, Matthew Lillard, Neil Fanning, Mindy Cohn, and several others who played Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, and the gang.
Oh, I'd want to meet Mindy Cohn, you know. I just want to like fall into her arms in tears, like, I miss you so much.
You left us with Kate McCucci.
Like, I just please.
You left us with a chipmunk.
I miss you, mummy. Oh yeah, Mindy Cohn all the way. I'd have to do it. What about Rhianna?
I think Frank Welker, just because like he's kind of difficult to me in interview and stuff. So just like being able to be in the same room as him or same Zoom room would just be so cool because he's voiced so many, like more than just Scooby. There's like I'm pretty sure he's been in every single animation at least once. So it would be really cool to meet him. I mean, we achieved Gary Chalk and
Oh,
David
Chalk
Kay.
Talk.
I feel like it's possible. But I mean, Grey DeLisle as well.
Someone told Frank Welker about us, and I just haven't posted it anywhere. I forget
it.
where and who, but it happened, and I completely forgot about it until now. I don't know. Who do you want to meet and interview, Smash?
So I've already met Frank Welker. That was last year. Incredible. He did the Scooby voice for me.
Oh.
And then his regular voice is Fred. So it's like you just hear Fred all the time. I have his autograph, which I still need framed. Y'all need to remind me. Frame that.
Frame it.
So then I was actually going to meet Matthew Lillard next month, but I just got information last night that due to scheduling conflicts, he won't be at the event that I was going to. So I'm like, I'm not even going to go at this point. That's the only reason I was going to go. So they're going to try to reschedule him. But it's a tie, honestly, for me between Matthew Lillard and Grey DeLisle. I think either one of them would be so fun. I think my thing though is I think Grey would be a little more willing to do her voice than Matthew, as I'm an adult. But I think either one of those would be my top choices, since I already have met and talked to Frank. I mean, would love to again. Don't get me wrong, but
the thing is, if I met Grey and she did the Daphne voice,
oh no,
I think I'm catching a charge or something.
Right, moving on. I'd say that Grey agreeing with Smash, but JayBee, we are not going to that event anymore. So what Scooby-Doo and other Hanna-Barbera crossover would you like to see?
What?
I mean, it's not a crossover. Ultimately, like the ultimate crossover been like Wacky Races or the Laugh Olympics. I'd love to see that redone again.
With Snagglepuss.
Mm-hmm.
I want Flintstones, because I've even got to the stage where I'm convinced Flintstones isn't even Hanna-Barbera. Or did Warner not own Flintstones? Like, is that the thing? Because to me, Flintstones and Scooby, like I would say that as a kid, I loved Scooby and Flintstones about the same amount, like legit. And then when you look at stuff like the Scoob movie, which was supposedly setting up this massive Hanna-Barbera universe, not even in the kind of referencey credits you see any Flintstones things. Are Flintstones even Hanna-Barbera Warner Brothers or what?
Mm-hmm.
And they just don't use that.
I have an idea for like a really good crossover.
Tell me.
So Scooby-Doo, the Jetsons, and Flintstones, past, present, and future, all in one. Like, how cool would that be?
That's true.
What's the dog called? Astro.
Astro.
We could have Astro and Scooby and Dino on some like. Oh.
We need it.
Yes, I want it.
And the thing is, imagine like George Jetson being like, "Hey, Fred." Jetson. Oh my gosh, there'd be two Freds. Like trying to explain to them that no, this is how you use a phone. What's a phone? And like the whole concept.
Like where's the video?
We should do it. Why don't they do that? Oh my gosh, and that's surely a reason to bring a Scrappy back, right? You could have like Elroy, like just choking him or something. No, I don't know. You know, like how like the Shrek ogre babies like harassed Puss in Boots. A bit like that. You just have like Elroy like crawling around trying to pull Scrappy's tail. Oh yeah, can we have that? We should make it, please. I'll pay you. I'll give you this for free.
I've got my own drink. Thank you.
Bonkers.
Bonkers.
Right, next question. If Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles ever came back in a brand new TV show or a movie, what do you think of this cast that'll voice Frankenstein Jr. in the Impossibles? Patrick Warburton as Frankenstein Jr. and Professor Conroy, Zach Callison as Buzz Conroy, Frank Welker as Big D, Scott Innes as
Big D.
that's what it says, as Frankie Fuller and Fluid Man, Billy West as Calvin Clarkson Coil Man, and Tom Kenny as Marvin Markson Multiman.
I think I
gonna-
don't know the characters enough. I mean, it's a decent cast of people. I don't know enough about the original characters and cast to know, oh yeah, they'd be perfect for that role. So I can't really comment. But yeah, cool beans.
Anyone else that's seen it? I've not seen it.
Yeah, I just say cool. Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I
cool
mean,
beans. Let's
at
make it
this point,
happen.
it's like Blue Falcon and Dynamite and Scoob. It's like, give me this generation's iteration of it. So sure.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
Okay, next question. And we might end up with JayBee and I might end up in a battle with Rhianna.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You had to get rid of one member of the gang. Who would it be and why? Velma. This is and why. Her voice.
Her face, her hair.
She's an insufferable know-it-all.
She's a buffoon. I think
just her conduct in the last episode.
I think she's obnoxious.
You're a fraud. Yeah.
I think she's the worst.
She's genuinely like annoying. What's a Scrappy?
What's a Velma? It's a real question.
I wish that was what everybody was asking about.
I'd snap her glasses.
That's see.
Rhianna, if you had to get rid of one of the gang, who would it be and why?
Oh no.
I would get rid of. You guys are mean. Well, it depends on like. Okay. Is it just like standard, or are we including Scrappy, or are we including like the minus Fred and Velma versions with
I
like
guess just
Flim
the gang
Flam in?
now.
Like Fred, Velma, Daphne, Shaggy, Scooby.
Okay. Let's go to Smash Them Mix. I'm going to shock everyone. And everyone's going to be like, what?
I was waiting for her to say something like the Mystery Machine.
No. No one touches the Mystery Machine, okay?
I think we're all gonna have to run away from Rhianna. Like, it depends on the iteration of Velma, though.
It does.
You know,
But
I'm
I feel
like,
like the pairings, like you've got Shaggy and Scooby, you've got Daphne and Daphne and Fred, and it's
All
like
people really care about,
Where's
if
Velma?
they're being honest, and they've
Linda
been brainwashed otherwise, is Linda Cardellini. As long as those movies still exist, as long as she's still there on DVD asking who their mummy is, we're fine, we're good. She peaked at that moment.
You ready for my answer?
am I don't know.
Can I get
she's
a
gonna say
drum roll?
Daphne to spite you.
No, because she wouldn't do that to me because she's my friend and she knows what it would mean to me.
I feel like this deserves a drum roll. Can you like
Okay.
put a drum roll thing? Velma.
Oh,
Bye, Velma.
Velma,
Okay.
you've just
Been
been told
booted.
your
So-
shit.
My reasonings why I've been watching, as I said before, Mystery Incorporated a lot.
Ooh.
I feel I love Velma to pieces, but I feel like as someone who has a condition that isn't widely covered and stuff, the pure fact that Daphne in several episodes has a rash like mine and Fred wasn't like, ew, get away from me, that for me means the world. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Velma, like it hurts, but I'm not going to get rid of the Mystery Machines. Like, it's like Baby. You never put Baby in the corner. Like, Supernatural fans will get that reference, and you'll get that reference really soon when you watch the series with me.
You're
Okay.
out ahead. Oh.
Velma who? And the next question is JayBee versus Devon. Who would win?
Oh.
Devon.
What?
No, no.
Just because he fought in the
JayBee.
war doesn't mean he's got a tactical advantage
War.
over me. I've got
JayBee.
big D energy.
You would wipe the floor with him because he's
Yeah.
glitchy.
No,
He'd be too
Devon's
busy
gonna
lagging.
win.
He'd be too busy, he's lagging.
No.
I would win.
Devon's got it.
Even now. Not I wouldn't even need to be 17. Well,
Okay, you know what? I changed my answer. I'd get rid of Daphne.
I'm gonna change my answer. Win in what? Because if we're talking
A fight.
well, what? Mixed martial arts,
Standard,
boxing,
like, street
judo,
fight.
taekwondo.
Wrestling, street fight, and wrestling.
I'd win that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would win.
Nah.
How would I lose?
Devon's got it.
How would I
There's a-
lose?
There's a lot of reasons you would lose.
No. One time, okay, at school, some guy was like punching my arm, and it hurt so much he
JayBee.
wouldn't.
Okay, next
It
question.
would take 2 seconds for you to realize you'd not cut your fingernails for the last 10
So I
minutes,
turned
and you
around
haven't been.
after begging him to stop, and he wouldn't stop. I did one punch, hand on heart, no joke. One punch, broke 2 of his fingers and his nose. Hand on heart. So I pack a wallop. Got no
Okay.
chance.
If you had to rename everyone that's part of this Q&A right now and give them a new name, what would it be? JB's would be Pervert.
What?
Haven't says what?
What would okay, go on, name everyone then. Come
No,
on.
I only had one for you.
Oh, I'd probably call Smash the Man of Hardness. Rhianna could be Bonkers, and you'll be Nasty.
Is that your anthem? Bonkers. Bonkers.
Bonkers, and I'd probably be
Bonkers.
like Big Aladdin or something. I don't know.
You're a pervert. That's it.
I'm not a pervert.
You are pervert.
I'm not pervert.
Okay. What's the coolest Scooby item you've ever found and the coolest thing you own that's non-Scooby related? So favorite Scooby item, favorite non-Scooby item, SMASH? Maybe first?
Okay.
Is it
So-
Green Scooby?
I mean, favorite item, obviously, it's not one I necessarily found or bought, but is my autograph from Frank Welker. But besides that, I have a big Scooby portrait. It's hanging in my room, and it's an original painting. It's like a watercolor painting almost. But I found it at this convention that I went to, actually, where I met Frank Welker, just a different year. And basically what this booth had done is these patients that were in the hospital that like to do art could make art, and then they brought it to these conventions and would sell it, and then any money they gained they'd take back to the families to help pay for medical things and whatever. And I remember I was with my friend Angie, and I hadn't seen the booth or anything, and she like booked it to me and was like, there is a Scooby one, you have to come right now, like come on. And so I was like, okay. So I went and I got it and whatever, and you know, it has the patient, the artist's name, obviously they signed it and everything, but even though that's not like an official Scooby-Doo product, I just think it has such a cool story, and the picture itself, I'm like, seriously, I think it could be an official Warner Brothers poster of Scooby, because it is so well done. And I have that framed, hanging up over my Scooby shelf. And that and my Frank Welker autograph, and I have Freddie Prinze Jr.'s autograph. That one's cool too. Non-Scooby item though, I years ago at this point was super into the video game Disney Infinity before it got canceled. The studio that they made it actually is close to me, And I won when the game was still being made, I won a competition to, one of the employees there had gotten a bunch of the team to autograph the base of the game. And the base is like where you put it. I mean, I have some of the Marvel figures right here. Here's Hulk. You'd put them on and then they go into the game, and everything was saved on the figure. So I could go to JB's house and play Disney Infinity at his house. And my Hulk figure was different than his and whatever. Yeah, I actually can show you guys. I have a really cool Infinity Marvel display right here. It's the Frost Giant.
That's cool.
So anyway, let me set this back. So my story goes again. So yeah, I won a signed base, and he was like, okay, where can I send it? So I gave him my address, and he was like, you do realize you're like pretty much right next to the studio where we make the game. I'm like, yeah. And I mean, it was 4 hours away technically, but it was in the same state. And so he was like, well, why don't you come and I can give you a tour of the studio. I'll show you where we make the game and whatever. And so I was like, okay, I have a doctor's appointment up there at this date, whatever. So we coordinated it. So whatever, we go. His name is Thomas Estrada. And so I went, he gave me the tour, and it was really cool. He was the, like, I don't know what his technical title is, but a like lead animating director person. And he told me a story. At the time they were working on the Force Awakens Star Wars stuff. And so he gave me a story of, he was animating the cutscene when Kylo Ren and Rey were fighting, and I can't remember which hand at this point, but he had animated the lightsaber in Rey's hand in the wrong hand. And so when he sent it for approval, they were like, it looks great, but the problem is I think it was in her left hand because he's a lefty. And he's like, oh shoot, I did that just because I'm a lefty and whatever. So what he did, instead of redoing the whole thing, because he'd have to reanimate it all, is at one point he basically gets the character to just like toss it to the other hand. And so then he didn't have to redo everything, just like a short snippet. Anyway, really, really cool experience. But he started as an animator. And he has a really cool story. I won't tell that for sake of time. But so he's worked on Over the Hedge, he's worked on Treasure Planet, he's worked on Home on the Range, he's worked on Emperor's New Groove, he's done all these different movies that were animated. And he was like, so before I left, he was like, I want to give you something that's unique and whatever. And he let me pick. He had a few, but so back when movies and stuff were still being hand drawn, they basically had like let's just say Hulk, for instance. They would have Hulk, a sheet, and it had him from all sides, and it was their reference. So like anytime they were animating Hulk, they'd have to come back to this to be like, does it match? Are we getting everything right and whatever? So he gave me the original reference sheet of Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. So I thought that was really cool, and I have that framed. I don't have it hung up, but I have that framed. So that's my non-Scooby item that I think is really unique and cool.
Nice. I guess kind of more briefly for mine non-Scooby is, growing up I used to be a huge Famous Five fan, and so it was like my favorite books. And so for Christmas one year, JayBee managed to get me like 4 first edition signed Enid Blyton books. I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
OTP.
And favorite Scooby things, kind of harder. Because we have some really good stuff as well from like doing interviews and stuff, and maybe the signed Shaggy Funko, just because of the memories attached to meeting Lillard.
Oh yeah.
JayBee?
Gosh, so with Scooby, it's probably a tie. Well, I don't know if it's a tie. It kind of goes hand in hand with the big Daphne poster and also the Daphne Barbie. Like, I think they're kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, if the place was like, if this room specifically was burning, it'd be a few other things. Maybe not like obviously not the only, but they're kind of iconic. I like them a lot. And non-Scooby, I think I've just got too much stuff to even quantify. I mean, I can't even think. I've actually got too much stuff, don't I? Really?
You've got far too much stuff. Rhianna?
My favorite Scooby item is the, oh gosh. So I've got like this 3-foot tall Scooby plush that's huge. But I've also, I think the CD and this other thing which
Oh,
I
we're
don't-
gonna talk about at the end.
yeah, like that's, oh gosh, and I've got 2 of them, so I'm like, they still work, like brand new in box, so it's like it's huge. For non-Scooby, my favorite item, I have 2. One is a pink plush bunny that I had since I was 3 months old. My mum gave it to me when I was 3 months old. It was like my first Easter, but I was also in and out of hospital a lot, so I've had him ever since then. But also, I think more collection wise is I have a signed WWE Women's Championship belt that's been signed by Triple H and Stephanie, and that for me is like,
Let's go.
I'm seeing Stephanie soon.
I need to give it. Oh, I need to stop because I literally there's just so much. Like the first edition Under the Dome, the Scott Pilgrim KO edition.
There's a lot.
There's too much for me to say.
Okay, I am conscious of like the time for people working and questions and everything. So just to get 3 of them, I'm gonna try and speed it up.
How long do we
bit.
have?
I'm not too sure, but I'm
Just a little over an hour for me.
Okay, so this question is quite a quick one because it's just directed at JayBee. I want to know why JayBee is always going on at Kate Micucci's Velma.
Okay, I'll say this and I'll say
I've
it once,
escaped.
and I'll never say it again. I just think she's the worst.
Language.
That's it. That's truly it.
Okay, what's everyone's favorite monster from Mystery Incorporated?
Chagar Gothicon. Or with the way they execute Krampus, I kind of dig. It may be a cop out, but I think okay. In my heart of hearts, you know, obviously I like to joke about the dominatrix. It's not that. I think in my heart of hearts, I think it's the Freak of Crystal Cove, but I think that's just such a safe answer that I just don't want to say that.
Okay, what's the biker gang one?
They're
Oh,
just
The Wild Brood.
Yeah.
the Brood.
That's my favorite episode.
Oh, what about the Dandy Highwayman, who's voiced by James Masters?
Yeah.
Oh no, because you were just using the
No,
fact
no,
that they're in Buffy to like
just
get no.
the Dandy Highwayman.
Although I do want to
I-
watch that again just purely because of that.
I really like Dead Justice, but also for more of a personal reason, Alice May, because my cousin is called Alice May and she is the worst human being ever on my dad's
Okay.
side, and she gave me a black eye. So I was very happy to see Alice May, and that was it came out the same year that she was bullying me and being really mean to me. So for me, seeing Alice May be arrested.
And Smash?
Oh gosh. There's really good ones in that series. One that sticks out to me, I think, is the Gator people, the second episode, just because of the creepy aesthetic of it all.
I see that. Okay, so next question. It does say 5, but like I say, for time and everything, I'm gonna kind of keep it at 1.
Yeah.
Most favorite and least favorite Scooby-Doo Where Are You episode?
God. Least favorite is a Scooby's Night with a Frozen Fright. That's my least favorite. Most favorite, oh God. What's the one? Maybe A Clue for Scooby-Doo.
Smash?
Least favorite, Decoy for a Dog Napper. Most favorite, See, this depends. Are we including the season 3 or not?
I guess 1 and 2.
Okay. Then, as cliche as may be, a clue for Scooby-Doo.
Rhianna?
My favorite is have to go with I can't think of the name. I've got the villain in my head. My least favorite is the one I almost passed. Like that was on the head, like the tiki one. The wiki, tiki,
Tiki Scare is no fair.
Yeah, a tiki scare is no fair. And then I think my favorite, and it's not just because of Scooby Natural, but you know.
Boo.
Night of Fright is no delight.
I'm going to boo you, JayBee.
I think I have to agree with JayBee on his answers as mine as well.
I thought you were going to say agree on me with the boo.
Oh, no. Okay, so Frank and Creepy or Zombie Island? Zombie Island.
Zombie Island. Although, again, I think Zombie Island is a bit overhyped, but again, it's
Have
good.
you joined my dark side?
It is way overhyped.
Return to Zombie Island is criminal.
Well, you know what? I thought it wasn't that bad when we reviewed it, but as it sat with me, I've just not thought about it. And I think for a sequel to Zombie Island, which has stayed with me for 20 plus years, I don't know.
Rhianna, Zombie Island.
I recently rewatched Frank and Creepy and I really enjoyed it, but I
It's
think
good.
I'm gonna have to go with Zombie Island.
Okay, so would a crossover movie between Scooby-Doo and Juniper Lee work out perfectly, just like Straight Out of Nowhere and Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yes and no.
I don't know.
It can. Well, I
never
don't
really
know the
watched it.
characters, but anything can work if it has the right team around it, the right writers.
Mm.
Like a movie about Scooby-Doo crossing over with X-Men, with the Kingsman, anything can work if it's got the right writing team behind it. So
They made Scooby-Doo and WWE work.
That's true.
Mhm.
I'd agree any crossover can work, really. Next question, which would be quite interesting to see a movie of. In the Scooby-Doo multiverse, do you think there could be evil versions of Scooby-Doo and the rest of Mystery Inc.?
well, it has to
Mhm.
be.
Yeah.
There's
And I think
everything
it'd
in
be
there.
a
Like
good
the
concept.
Valentine's Day episode where they face the evil versions of them.
Mm.
There has to be a multiversal thing with everything. There has to be an alternate reality where
Well, you know-
I like Velma and I'm a purist.
That's part
like
of the potential plot for that Trick or Treat movie. Is
Ooh.
I mean the supposed rumor plot is that they're in Coolsville for Halloween, and they end up capturing this woman who ends up being the costume designer for all of the villains that they've captured, and then all those villains basically, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo 2-esque moment where the villains come to life and whatever, but also they've made evil versions of the gang to come after them.
Oh.
So if that's true.
Okay. Next question, which is just a really sweet compliment more than anything. How do your videos do so well?
Oh, mate, what?
How do your
We've-
videos do so well?
That isn't the question.
Because of
It's how do you do your
Oh.
videos so well? They don't do
Oh.
well.
I'm sorry,
Not
I was
as-
like trying to keep eye contact with the
No,
camera.
not
and
as
read.
well as they deserve to be honest.
they do well and they turn out amazingly because JayBee he works really hard with the editing, getting the people for the interviews. Milly helps organize, finalize everything. You know, you two are what make the show, literally, because none of us have access to your YouTube channel.
Well, no,
I'd say it's that JB is a slave driver, so we all just get told what to do and where to be.
I'm very proud of the interviews. I think our thing is that whenever like another show like drops an interview, every single other person is like on them like a pig on you know what. And so I think it's easy for other people's egos to get inflated. So they take the W and think, okay, that's it. I've done really well. And then just kind of sit back and bask in glory. As I think with us, even with situations where we've been featured by Screen Rant or Total Film or Comic Book or like another big YouTubers as like mentioned us and stuff, it's kind of like, okay, cool, let's enjoy it for a second. And then what's next? You know what I mean? It's always what's next. Like, yes,
Mhm.
that's great. now let's do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And I think really that's just the heart of it. Just don't spend too much time sucking your own. Like just get on with
Okay,
it.
moving on, JB. What is the worst Scooby-Doo movie? Daphne and
Oh,
Velma.
the Kiss movie. The Kiss movie.
Daphne and Velma.
The Kiss movie.
Rhianna?
The worst. I mean,
The Kiss
technically,
movie.
it's not that I don't enjoy it. I would have to say. I don't know. Don't do this to me.
I think I know. I think I know.
You're
But
going to say Kiss movie.
no, I think I know what you think.
What is
but
it?
I'm not saying.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
I-
WWE just to upset her
No.
because you tend to upset her.
No,
I
I'm
will
not
jump through the
saying.
screen,
I'm
JB.
not saying. I'm not saying.
I think the worst executed is the Daphne and Velma because of the casting choice. Story wise, it was strong, but the acting choices, any actor can make a bad story good, and it had a decent plot line.
Rhianna, you're too nice. My exact wording is that they ripped the heart out of Scooby-Doo and made it a Disney Channel original movie.
I thought the
And I
casting.
stand by that to this day.
I thought the casting was one of the better parts, actually.
Oh no, Velma. Well,
Velma
yeah,
is
Velma was
kind of like-
annoying. So
Velma, no,
Right.
it's the. I would say, honest to God,
I was just happy that Arwen was there.
it's the best casting for Velma we've ever had. If you're talking
No.
about accuracy to the 1969 show, it
Velma
really.
Velma does
is.
not have a fringe. It's like here.
Velma is not a supermodel.
Yeah, but
She was
they
a
did not.
supermodel
No,
in 2002 and
I
2004.
could have played a better Velma, and I've got long hair.
I would say it's the
I
most
did, look at
accurate
my
Velma
Instagram
to the
post.
1969 show we've ever had.
Smash.
The Kiss movie.
Yeah!
Oh.
Yogi.
Girls versus boys.
That one doesn't exist to me.
I'm gonna burn it. I want to
Oh,
interview.
I like that movie purely because of JB's reaction
What
to
the
it. Like,
hell?
I have this thing where I can absolutely hate something, but JB's reaction can make it absolutely priceless.
Why?
So I genuinely could watch that movie now and be really happy just because JB would be reacting so
It's
hilariously.
it's the de-evolution of mankind.
Okay, do you prefer the Marvel Cinematic Universe or the Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10 movie series?
I think Marvel Cinematic because there's a load of superheroes that I love there. Whereas with Hanna-Barbera, it's Scooby, Flintstones, Jetsons. Everything else, because I'm not nostalgic for it, can kind of just go. For me, anyway.
Okay, Smash.
I'm the only one that really does not care about Marvel whatsoever. I'm literally like the only person in the world, I swear, that I'm like, but I'm also like those 10 movies like are so hit or miss. It's like I don't really care about either of them either. So both of them I'm like I don't care if either one burned one day.
Rhianna?
MCU. Mainly because if I didn't say it, JB will bully me in the next podcast. Like review. He'll be like, Rhianna, if you don't watch and catch up to the latest Doctor Strange movie, the next, like, you have 2 days to
about
watch
time.
them.
It's
I
about
will
time.
spoil it for you.
We need to. I'm going to stop putting the pressure on. When we do our next
No!
batch of reviews,
JB!
it's the
I-
second Tom Holland
Excuse-
Spider-Man. It's about time.
JB,
It's about time.
excuse me, JB.
Just do it, man.
I'm going to.
Do it, bro.
A crime may be committed in Cardiff.
Ooh. Well, to be fair, it's full of the Welsh. There's always a crime going on.
Okay, moving swiftly on. Besides Scooby-Doo and other things, what other things do you like? Be that TV series, movies, books, music?
Too many to count. Like you've got what? Nintendo, Doctor Who. Like I guess this counts as Nintendo, but it's more Game Freak. But Pokemon, any form of collecting. What else? Buffy the
Netflix.
Vampire Slayer. There's too much. There's too much. I'm a man.
Netflix
I'm
and
a man of many hearts. What, Netflix and chill?
no, just like any Netflix series we tend to watch.
Use
Disney Plus, as soon as anything new's on there, we
Free
watch
X
it.
Education. Too much. There's so much that I enjoy. Funko Pops, Funko sodas. There's just too many. There's Animal Crossing.
Smash.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, Jurassic, as I pointed out earlier, my High School Musical, the musical, the series, Wizards of Waverly Place. I mean, yeah, I'm not the biggest reader. I really struggle. Like, I have to be in the mood to read, and then when I do, I get through books. But I love Michael Crichton's books. I've been working through his books for the last several years because they're all like 600 pages, so they're super chunky. Nintendo, yeah, I love to play games. I've always played video games, Mario, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Splatoon. Ooh, I'm ready for that next Splatoon soon.
Lego.
Rhianna.
Okay, so I like, where should I start? MCU, DC series, not the movies. 1 second. So series, not the movies. I like Supernatural. I like puzzles. I like acting. I like WWE. I like WWE commentary. I like women's wrestling, men's wrestling, tag team wrestling. I like Stephanie McMahon, Triple H.
Willie's.
Supernatural.
Yeah, no.
I like the Supernatural books. I'm rereading all the Supernatural books as well. So.
I like that.
Goosebumps.
I like that. Oh, Goosebumps, yes.
I love Goosebumps.
I want to watch
Sorry.
the movies.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. Walking Dead.
Okay, so who's your favorite Hanna-Barbera character other than Scooby-Doo or Dynamite? Daphne.
Jane Jetson.
The Mystery Machine.
Ooh.
Probably Barney Rubble.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so these are the anonymous questions now. What
okay.
did you dream?
And please try, if we miss out any, I submit them again, because I lost loads of them. I think I messed up the app.
No.
I didn't know how to work it, but I think I've got a few of them.
What did you dream about last night? I genuinely don't dream. Nothing. JayBee?
I had a dream that I was in this weird hotel that I got lost in, and I peed my pants. I have weird dreams, and then I forget them pretty much instantly when I wake up.
Rhianna?
I've had like a recurring dream, like several dreams.
Is it about me?
You were in this one actually.
Oh.
And so were you, Millie.
Oh.
I'd like done, I guess, an audition, and we were interviewing Jensen Ackles, and then like at the end, next thing you know, his wife, like when it's the, oh, what, you know, I don't even remember half of the questions. I don't think we actually said it. It was just like, hi, we're, you know, all of us, skip to the end. What do you have planned on the future? So Supernatural's rebooting, and Rhianna recently auditioned, and then like Jared and his wife and everyone, and Misha like popped up and was like, Rhianna's going to be part of the series. And I was like, and then I woke up and I'm like, please happen in real, this has happened like several times now. I need it to happen in real life. Please.
Smash?
I am a very avid dreamer. Almost every time I sleep, I dream like crazy. So last night's stream, I was on doing some sort of movie or something. Not that I've ever like tried to act or anything, but I have lots of dreams of like being on a movie set or something. But anyway, so we were doing like this movie, and my ex was there in some capacity, and because of life. But anyway, so we were in this, like, filming in this weird, okay, I know you two have seen Dominion. Rhianna, have you seen? Okay.
No, I need to wait for it on DVD.
So at one point, it reminded me of the Malta scene where it's like these long corridors with like light openings every so often, that we were in that type of setting. Anyway, we were filming there and like running, but eventually like would go down and like upstairs, like there were levels to it. And anyway, so me and my heart condition played into the dream of I can't keep up, I can't run and do all this physical activity a lot and whatever. So there was this guy who was also in the production of whatever and ended up like sticking with me to help me and whatever. And him and I started to have a thing where we're like, oh, okay, we have feelings for each other and whatever. So then like when we were done with the production, we went home and whatever and like started hanging out together and whatever. And then it turned into so at my work over at Michael's, our store manager has to be away for 6 weeks right now. And I remember we like went to my work and she randomly came back and was like, I finished early or whatever. And then that's about all I can remember. But
That's like a dream.
there we go.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so the next question is just a statement. You should get a group
Wait, you
tattoo.
didn't talk about your dream.
I did. I said I didn't dream.
You dream about
Oh, God.
KSI and Alex Wasabi passionately getting it on in the rain.
You're a creep. You do know that. I hope you're aware. You're a creep. You're genuinely scary. No one like you.
Sticks and stones.
So the next question just says you should get a group tattoo.
What, like a smash or pass tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be up for it.
JayBee, you're scared of needles.
Yeah, but if we all coordinated to get it in the same place,
Just put
I
me
would
asleep and
consider
into
it. Like, what would we do though? We'd have like, what, SOP? I don't know, SOP? I don't know, that sounds weird.
We can get a tattoo of Rihanna's dog. And then like
Mr.
coming
Boo.
up over his shoulder is Mr. Boo.
Yeah, I would do that. I'd have it like
I work with a tattoo artist.
wait, what?
This new guy, Chris, is a tattoo artist.
Is he a Daphne tattoo fan?
No.
No.
Okay. Next question. What's your dream house? Honestly, mine's just as big a house as possible, relatively modern. Hopefully no one anywhere near it, in the middle of nowhere in a swimming pool. Yeah.
I think mine is like no one really around. Big, not like modern, but very like country-esque, and a lot of like wood. Because I really like woods, like it's timber frame, like and a lovely view of the sunset. That's all that matters to me. And enough land that I can have a goat.
Ooh,
I just
okay.
like it here, you know. My only requirement is that like no one sees me.
For anybody that's seen Twilight, kind of like that, modern and in the middle of nowhere, so completely like the middle of a forest or something, except more of a garden than that. Smart?
Oh, if it's sorry.
No, go ahead.
If it's like based off of like, so mix Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki's homes together. That's like my dream home, but add in like the bunker from Supernatural's library. I need that library.
Oh, a good library. Yeah. Smash?
I'm definitely like a city boy, but I think I'd want more so like a beach house. So it's like it's out. I mean, you know, kind of out there, but also I have access to the city. I personally would at least want 2 levels. Because I have, except for one, well, I guess now twice because of last year, have always lived in at least a 2-story or 3-story house. And so like if I had kids, you guys get upstairs. I am, or the opposite. I'm like, my own floor. I don't know how big or small I necessarily want it. I think it'd depend on. I'd even if I didn't have kids, I want at least like an extra room in case anyone either came to visit or needed to stay at some point. It was like they were having a time in their life where like, I gotta get back on my feet and I can offer a room to them. So I'd want like my room, my recording collection studio room, and then like an extra room at the very bare minimum. And then, but I would want, like, even though I think I'd have most of my collection and stuff in where I would record and edit and stuff, I think I'd still want an entertainment room where even more of my collection is out there, but that's where like we would go to hang out and stuff.
Like a movie room.
Yeah, basically. I think I'd want like a theater room. But I mean, yes, it would be, like the cinema rooms and whatever, but I think I'd want a little more homey feeling still. So anyway, there you go.
I like that. We should get like a Smash or Pass mansion together.
We should. Okay, so the next question, I swear it's not made up. It says Milly is hot, so thank you. JayBee, give me dating tips.
He gave
I
me
wouldn't
tips
go by
yesterday.
any of these.
Should we read his tips from yesterday to me?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is no advice.
Be really careful.
I always
what you
hear.
say, I swear.
Okay, no. I used to have this boss who was, for lack of a better word, I don't know what you say, if it's the same phrase in the States, but in the UK it's, I guess, top shaggy you'd call it. I don't know how. I really don't know if there's any better way of saying it. And he recommended a book to me called The Game by Neil Strauss. And there's little mind games and it's like being a salesperson, but ultimately, and I can only speak from the point of view as heterosexual male, early 20s, you know what I mean? I don't know what it's like for lesbians meeting women or for homosexual guys meeting men. I can only speak from my perspective, and that's you either need to be ripped or rich or just dumb luck.
And this instance was
dumb luck. At 17,
Okay,
it
next
was a
question.
bit more honed, but really just
pineapple on pizza, yes
either
or
go
no?
to the gym or make loads of money, or just keep going
Can
out
we
and
not,
trying.
like,
Just keep.
say that women are more developed than this and a good personality. No, you've got a terrible
Well,
personality.
this is my
so no.
advice. Well, actually, here's the interesting thing, right? Don't be too nice, because if you're too nice, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You have to have a bit of an edge about you.
Pineapple on pizza. Musi, yes.
Big no. I'd rather sit on a cactus and rotate.
Smash. Pineapple on
Did you
pizza.
say pineapple on pizza?
Did
Yes,
you just-
I love it.
Yes. Okay. Good.
But I gave dating advice to Smash, and I think it's gonna work out.
Look, I remember some dating advice that you gave Smash, and I don't feel like
That's
here's
almost
some-
a year old.
I don't think that like a recording that's going to be uploaded is the time or the place to say it, but it was bad.
It was good.
It was bad.
It was good.
It was really bad.
It was good. Okay, so say if I was in the States.
JayBee, if I took that advice, if like I wasn't happy with you right now,
No,
it
no,
would
no,
like
no, no.
break you. So don't tell me that's good
Okay,
advice.
so say if I was in the States with Smash, right? And we're just like we're friends, you know what I mean? We're going out, we're holding hands, we're going to the park together, we're just good mates. But then we go out on the town and he sees a guy that he's like, oh my god, look at him, look at his butt, he looks cute. And I'm like, okay, just come over with me, I'll start the conversation. Guaranteed he's engaged that night.
Okay.
Get engaged.
Guaranteed.
The next question says, is Tati still okay? We don't get to see her anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, she's still
Tati.
okay. Like, she's sleeping right now. She's
Have
happily
we-
actually I'll share a picture. Hang
Have
on.
we even seen Tati since John Colton Barry?
I don't think
Yeah.
so. It's because Rhianna,
Oh,
I can I guess Rhianna's new like recording setup's different, so it's not as easy for Tati to
Maybe
be
it was
seen.
Gary Chalk. That was the last appearance of Tati.
And I mean, on the before the reviews and like during them, sometimes I'll show you a quick video. I was Tati as I was doing the puzzle. She was really intrigued. She's still okay. My baby's still okay.
Oh, you can send that to me actually if you want, and I'll blow it up professionally on the recording for people to see.
I thought you were just going to say I'll blow up Tati, and it's like I will definitely. I'll
Okay.
come through the screen, JayBee.
So next question, JayBee. If you say what you're gonna say, I'm not gonna be happy with you. Best Taylor Swift song.
Whoa, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Well, I was listening to Taylor Swift earlier, and you were
Oh.
being a pervert.
No,
so
I was just intrigued if it was the music video. I love the one that has that like Bon Jovi in it. Or not. He sounds like Rag and Bone Man and George Ezra, but it isn't Rag and Bone Man.
Is it
or George Ezra.
Exile?
It's Exile, I think. It is, and he
Bon
sounds
Iver.
like Bon Iver. He
Iver.
sounds like George Ezra.
I'd say
I can
Style.
see
I don't know why, but I really like that song.
Style. It's not my style.
You got
Yes.
Yeah.
What about 2012?
I like
was-
that one.
Pivotal in my high school time.
Apparently, for me, it's Nobody, No Crime, JayBee.
What about wait, what?
Smash.
Delicate.
Okay, the next one's a question for Rhianna. Is Rhianna single? If so, how do I ask her out?
Well, it depends who's asking.
Look,
doesn't it?
YouTube's
'Cause-
doing a lot for you, Rhianna.
No, because Rhianna wants a 6-foot guy.
JayBee! No, sorry.
Don't, because this guy could be 5'11".
It's not gonna happen, mate. Look, okay, fine. As the father, I will meet them beforehand for an interview, and we'll see if their application will be progressed.
One, I am single. Two, no. There is no.
Just no.
Let me tell you, okay, as someone who did date someone who they found me through YouTube first, I don't recommend it because they know more about you before you know anything about them.
Oh,
That's-
I didn't think about that.
I'm going to be a
It's
single
horrible.
Pringle forever. Oh, Pringles.
Because then they can
Good.
cheat against you. Anyway.
Okay, what would you say is the best Scooby pickup line?
How you do be doing?
I'm
What-
turning to JB
What,
because
like
normally
are you Scooby? Because I'd like to do you, or I'm Scooby because you're looking like a snack, or I don't know, like how.
I was trying to think of something of like, how many Scooby snacks would it take for you to something?
Okay, top 3 Stranger Things actors that you think are hot.
I haven't seen enough of Stranger Things to be
I've not
honest.
even watched this series.
I
Oh
need
god,
to
I don't know the
finish
name
it.
of them. You can go because actually,
Me?
are there any of age? Are there any
There's
of
just like the one that plays Steve Harrington, right?
Joe Kerry?
I don't know the name.
Is he the only male of age on that show?
That's not the awful one, yeah.
God, so for me then, I don't know the actresses,
Yeah.
so it's just gonna be such like the character
Yeah.
names. It's gotta be Nancy's mum, Chrissy, and Nancy.
Wake up.
They've got good
Oh,
genes.
I need the context for that.
Those are those 3. There's no and you know what? There's so many guys my age online that are simping for Millie Bobby Brown, and it's like she turned 18 like 2 weeks ago. What are you doing?
Wait, she's only 18. I thought she was older.
No, she turned 18
I-
like 2 weeks ago, and the fact that people my age are like, oh yeah, she's finally 18. Like to me, that's a pervert. Genuinely and
A
truthfully.
few months ago,
I can't.
I sent a picture to my oldest niece, the niece that made me an uncle,
Oh.
and I was like, why are you more and more looking like her? I'm like, my niece looks like Millie, whatever her name is, Millie Bobby Brown, whatever.
Oh, don't say that. You'll have men like coming in like
She's 16, y'all. Stay away.
I think general rule that, and technically I can be with an 18-year-old, but I don't want to be. I think it's the general rule is half your age plus 7. General rule.
That's
What?
an
Half your age plus
abominable
7.
rule.
Okay, so what's half my age? So I'm 23. What's half of 23?
Like 11.5.
Plus 7, 18.5.
Yeah.
General rule, at minimum, that's what I would recommend. Anything else, I just don't get. I don't see it.
Okay. Next question. Celebrity crushes.
Well, you can go first.
I'm not going
Ooh.
first.
I got him.
Smash can go first.
Okay. Sabrina Carpenter, even though I know I'm gay, but like I would go for her. But my gay side, Matt Cornett.
Mm.
I don't know if any of you know who he is.
No, sorry.
I mean, he sounds like a hunk. Anyone called
His
Don't
eyes.
say anyone called Matt. Come on, you cannot say that.
above 18 and a half. What about Rhianna? Is it Jensen Ackles?
No. See, everyone jumps to assuming that, but I genuinely don't have a celebrity crush because, like, with Jensen and Jared, I just admire their work and want to work with them. It's not like I want to marry them or this, that, and it. Like,
Yeah.
no. I genuinely, I'm just like, nah. Like, those people are cute.
Rhianna.
And it's like I wouldn't want someone like looking at me and being like, I want to marry her this instant. Like that guy who did the question earlier. Like, nah, I'm good.
I'm gonna say
Also-
me and Rhianna have been quite complimented in this Q&A. I'm
Hey,
hot and
people
someone
love
wants to
Great.
marry her, so we're doing good.
Yeah, it's difficult being a woman online for sure.
So-
Especially, you know what? I'm not going to say this. If someone wants to reiterate it, they can. We got a question, the one question that I actively didn't put in the Q&A
Which is
about Andrew Tate, and it's just not something I'm going into. But it is there if
Can't yell who
someone
Matt
wants
Cornett
to
is.
ask about it. So, who's your celebrity?
I'm
crush, Matt?
asking you.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I guess
Michelle Gellar.
you
and
have to
like-
you have to stick to your classic. It's got to be Sarah Michelle Gellar and Heather Locklear. More recently, probably Naomi Scott. Like, and that's kind of it. That's kind of it.
And don't forget, isn't it
Oh, Priyanka Chopra. But I wouldn't call her a crush. It's just like internet worldy
Sim.
or online worldy. And there's a lot of online worldy. You know, Britney
Addison Rae.
Spears, Addison Rae. That woman that sings that song.
the cosplayer?
The cosplayer. There's so many. There's actually too many now that I think about it. But in terms of it's just like a free. It's a free. What about you? Is it KSI?
Go away.
Robbie
My
Mouth.
initial one, like first ever crush, was Taylor Lautner. They were incredible.
I used to look like Taylor.
Taylor Hotner.
And yeah, I guess JayBee said KSI. They've been training for a fight recently, and they look good. That's it.
He's gonna win as well. I'm so excited for that. I want to do a watch along.
What's your favorite interview moment?
Ooh.
I'm honestly, I guess as always, every interview is amazing. There's so many things we take away from all of them. One of my most prominent things, I guess, would just be Kent Bader, because every time they were speaking, I was just like,
Mhm.
because everything was something new and interesting, like that we didn't know, and it was kind of like groundbreaking. So, yeah. JayBee.
So I've already mentioned the Kate Middleton birthday one, so I'm going to update it. And I think I'm going to highlight, because we're going to get this question a lot, I'm just going to highlight a moment every time. And so for this one, showing Nicholas Hope, the Luna Ghost action figure, that was just peak awesome. I think that was one of my absolute favourite moments. So yeah. And his wacky hair, of course.
Rhianna.
I think my brother meeting Gary Chalk and David Kay, but more recently Michael Kerensky, because he messaged me and his wife's a big fan of mine. She came,
Oh,
like she
yeah.
watched the interview, and apparently because he messaged me and he was like, every time you open your mouth to speak, she goes, oh, she's so cute. So shout out to Mrs. Kerensky. I love you.
And Smash.
One that sticks out to me, and I don't really know why, I think it was just like a really enjoyable one, was, and I'm biffing on their name, but the writer of Witch's Ghost.
Rick
Oh yeah,
Rick
you were
Cobb.
there for the Rick Kopp one, not the David Goodman.
Yeah,
one.
Rick
So it would have
Kopp.
been Rick Kopp,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's his
Mhm.
birthday today as of recording it. So
Hey.
happy birthday,
Hey.
Mr.
Birthday.
Kopp.
Okay, last 3 questions, and this one
Wait, what was the moment? We didn't hear the moment.
what moment?
Smash's moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was just a Rick Kopp. I'm so sorry.
Well, that's the
Oh.
interview, not interview moment.
Oh, I
Oh, that's a good.
Sorry. Okay,
We're
so
good.
I feel like I'm going to put Rhianna on the spot with this question. Tell me a funny joke.
I have 2. Can I do 2?
Yeah.
These are genuinely so good. Okay. Did you hear about the explosion, the cheese factory in France? 'Cause there was debris everywhere.
Oh, Brew.
Debris. I mean, that was a bit cheesy for a pun. The second one, knock knock,
Who's the
interrupting sloth.
interrupting stuff who?
No.
JayBee, do you have any jokes that you want to throw out there?
God, I'll do my classic one. So if a laptop is called a laptop because it goes on your lap, and a desktop is called a desktop because it goes on a desk, then why is a crop top called a crop top?
Mash, any jokes you want to
No,
throw
because
out
it goes
there?
on. No, someone needs to guess, and
I'm
then I say
scared.
because it goes on a farm. You just ruined the punchline.
I feel like that joke doesn't have a punchline.
It's just funny. It's just funny.
Because it goes on the farm.
Because there's crops, they grow crops.
Oh,
Apparently, there's a state in America that's just a farm.
You have a warped perception of Texas, JayBee.
No, there's not. There's a place that just grows stuff. Oh no!
So a farm.
everywhere grows.
Smash, do you have any go-to jokes? I
Ugh. I haven't said a joke in so long. I'm like, I'm rusty.
Okay, this question, guess it's mainly to JayBee. What made you want to do the interviews?
God, it started way back, didn't it? Really, like we started the original podcast, 5-Star Talk, doing interviews.
That's true.
That was like interviewing like a different person every episode, including Smash. But even before that, like the main podcast that I'd listened to is the Pokemon podcast. And one of my favorite episodes with them was when they interviewed Veronica Taylor, who was the voice actor who played Ash Ketchum in the original series. And just the fact that they got someone like that on a podcast, and it wasn't like a TV show or a DVD extra, I was like, this is awesome. And so that was kind of the triggering event. And then it's just you get to speak to people, don't you? Like it's obvious, really. Even if they weren't recorded, it's just cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really cool. That's kind of ultimately it.
And the last question is, what video are we all most proud of? I'm gonna say,
Within Smash or Pass?
yeah, within what parameters?
I guess I guess for Rhianna it would be, well, I don't know. I guess any video that we've been associated with.
Honestly, for me, it's the house tour, just because it's like, woo, we did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
JayBee?
I mean, who knows? All of them, they're just, I think they're all good, really.
My origami Goomba.
I can't even think it. I can't even think it. It's just all of them have been amazing. I love doing all of them. I don't know. Maybe Rhianna can tell us. I think if I had to choose one, if someone was like sat on my face, suffocating me, that you have to choose a video, then maybe I would say the first time we did like a face vlog, because that was like what led into this really. Because
Oh,
other than
was
that, we
the
were just hiding.
Christmas video.
Yeah.
Nice. Rhianna or Smash? Any videos stand out to you?
I think for me, it's mine isn't really related to the channel though. The one that I'm most proud of, it's actually my Make-A-Wish video, because it's the first time like you really like see me be happy, I guess. And I actually put myself out there, and amongst a lot of hate, I got like a lot of nice messages. So I'm really proud that, you know, when I could have said no, you know, it was just like, sure, my dogs are barking, so I'm so sorry. See, Tattoo's okay.
And
But yeah, no, I think that's the one I'm most proud of, because it changed my life and it led me to you guys. So.
And Smash, any videos that stand out for you on either this channel, your channel?
So before I answer, I want to say afterwards, I think it'd be cool if we all, like, I say a favorite video of your guys's, kind of give other people's opinions. I don't know, I thought that might be fun, but for me personally, for mine, and it might just be because of the time of year it is for me, and I'm really reminiscing right now and going, it's been a weird month. I'm going through a lot of emotions because it is this month will mark a year since I decided to make a lot of changes and come out and everything. And so one of my most proud videos to date, even if it's not the one that's done the best in views or whatever, but I remember my coming out video, I guess you could call it. I remember I had planned to do that, but I didn't really know how I was going to do it or what I was going to do. And so I took a trip to California with my friend over one weekend and just started filming stuff while we were out in California, but I didn't really get enough. And then we come back and whatever, and I went to work one Saturday morning. At the time I was working early mornings, and I get there and my manager wasn't there, and she texts me, she's like, I am so sorry, I slept through my alarm, blah blah. Anyway, she was like, you know what, don't come in and I'll still pay you because you showed up and whatever. She's like, just go enjoy your day. And I did, you know, because I could have just gone home and gone back to sleep, really. But instead I decided, no, I'm going to go watch the sunrise then, because again, I was doing early mornings. So we have this, what we call Dixie Rock here, where you can go climb up, and it's up high and whatever. So I went up there and watched the sunrise come up. And then that's kind of where I decided I'm going to start filming stuff and just talking about my feelings, kind of like a vlog, a video diary, and just what am I feeling right now and everything. And then, so, you know, I went from there, I went and got a drink, I went to different spots around my town and just was filming shots and myself talking. And then I don't know if it was that same day or the next day, I put it together, and then like I sent it to JayBee and Milly and some other people before I posted it, and was like, what do you guys think? This is kind of what I came up with. But that was just, I was so excited to do that, but also really scared, obviously. But I still think that is like a mini movie for me that I made right there. It's like a mini documentary. And so again, maybe it's just because we're coming up on a year of that video that was posted September 5th of last year. I'm kind of reminiscing that now of everything that's happened since then now, but I still think that was, even though it wasn't super planned out, it was just very much a vulnerable video, I guess. So
Hmm.
It was a good video.
Yeah, I love all the cinematography that you can do. Like my favorite part about that is like the wax, like the kind of melting wax thing. That was awesome. Oh, what are you doing now?
And that, I think, was the last question.
What was it Smash wanted to do?
To kind
I
of
was gonna
talk about
s-
some other videos as well. I mean, what's kind of mad to think is in terms of videos that we're proud of, or even just videos that are important, like still go back to the Jurassic World evolution time.
Well, that's
When
so I was gonna say, like, we each say a favorite video of each other's basically. So I was actually gonna say some of my favorites is how I met you guys, is those Jurassic gameplays you guys were doing. That I remember I was watching my niece at the time. She was a few months old, and I'd be like getting her breakfast, and I had your guys' videos on the TV playing in the background, whatever. And I'd hear Millie say something, and I'd grab my phone and be like, oh, I'm gonna comment. I know what to do here, or whatever.
that was so good. And like to think that literally us doing that video, you then commenting on it, literally is how all four of us are in a Zoom call
True.
today.
Mad.
True.
It's actually mad. See, that's something creepy about the multiverse, because we very nearly didn't even buy the game.
Without COVID, we wouldn't have bought that game.
Without COVID, a
So-
lot of stuff wouldn't happen.
It's crazy, really. We might have never met anyone.
Mhm.
Like, geez, dark timeline. One of my favorite videos, all of my favorite videos from Smash involves some type of like opinionated thing. So the top 10, or like all the Scooby theme tunes, like the opening titles ranked, or like the funny things as well, like what is like guess the movie just by audio.
Oh, I remember those ones, yeah.
Those are cool, like the kind of challenge ones.
My favorite one, like if anybody ever needs entertainment and is bored, I need to do an updated one, but I did like a rapid fire Scooby movie rating where I'd like pull up the movie, I didn't know which one it was, and then just hurry and rate it on the spot out of 10. And that comment section is the best because people get so pissed at me for my ratings, and I'm like, whatever, you're just giving me entertainment now, so thank you.
Oh no, I remember like watching, I think you did like a tier list of all the movies, and
I did a tier
you just like
list.
looked at the 2002 one and you were like, okay, D tier. And I was just there like shouting at the TV like,
I'd say that
no.
I like the vlogs that Smash does just because it's just kind of fun seeing everything in America from like just like Walmart and stuff like that. It all seems so exciting, and also just how you edit them as well, like
Oh,
the music that
the
goes
music,
alongside it. Like
You're
they
getting
can
a
be
vlog
like
next
mini
week.
movies. There was one that you did when it was like snowing as well. That was
Yeah,
like
we
a
went up to
particularly
Park
good
City.
one. Yes,
I wanted to snow.
I really
too.
enjoyed that one.
And obviously with Rhianna, my favorite one is the Wish video.
That's
'Cause
literally the
you
only
get-
one.
You get Chris.
I haven't
Connolly
watched
there,
it. Where do I see this?
The best way is on the link in my Instagram, because it's to the
Mm.
full one on www.com. Otherwise, like if you just want to watch like one that's missing about 2 minutes, then go onto the ESPN YouTube.
We should do a sequel to that. Like, I could be the new Chris Connolly now that we've got some experience interviewing, and we could just talk about life. And so here's the thing that I admire you for, is because you want to do WWE commentary, right? And you used your Make-A-Wish not to like necessarily get in there, but you've pursued that line of thinking. Whereas me, I'd be like, oh, I want to visit the Playboy Mansion. Like if I had something where I needed to make a wish, I'd be, I want like to meet Sarah Michelle Gellar. I want to spend a day like meeting some like some, you know what I mean? I'd use it for kind of awful things.
Yeah, so Rhianna is aspirational
Yes.
and incredible, and you're an absolute pervert.
What the heck?
Oh no.
I'm not sitting here and taking that.
You are.
I guess that's all the questions that we've got, isn't
It
it?
is. And so we'll probably do another one at the end of the next series. So any questions like JayBee said that maybe didn't come through properly because it was the first time we'd used that kind of anonymous app.
I don't think I'm going to use that again, to be honest.
We'll see. You might work
They can send
out
it to
by
me.
So yeah, thank you for submitting your questions, and we'll do another one of these soon.
Let's do our Q&A tradition, and let's cover the camera.
Oh yeah.
So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Find all of our social links in the description down below.